Hello there, all of you wonderful, beautiful, handsome ladies and gentlemen of the internet. How's it going? It is I, your boy here, Hazuki Warrior 921, finally bringing you guys my review on this masterpiece of a game, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And Knuckles 2, of course. I love this game to death, and I'm going to tell you guys right now that this is my favorite Sonic game of all time, ever. It's a tie between this game and Sonic Mania for me. And sometimes Unleashed and SA2, we'll talk about those games when we get to them. Yes, those games have been really growing me recently. Sonic Unleashed and Sonic 2 happened, but really I just love Sonic 3, Knuckles, and Sonic Mania. They're my two favorite Sonic games. So that being said, let's get into it. So, what is it that makes this game so darn special to me, and why do so many people out there consider it to be a masterpiece of a platformer? Well, let's get into it. Now, one of the first things I like to cover is its name. Why is the game called Sonic 3 and Knuckles for its official title, and what is Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Complete and Sonic 3 A.I.R? Oh boy. Well, this is going to be a lot to talk about and cover through. Alright, okay, so, back in development of Sonic 3, I'd say somewhere early or mid 1993-ish. The game was originally going to be one massive adventure. However, thanks to a deal that Sega had made with McDonald's, believe it or not, yes, this is true, Sonic 3 had to actually be out a lot sooner than expected. It was set for release for February of 1994, that's right, early 1994, after the holiday release and everything. And needless to say, Sonic Team was not the least bit happy about that, especially not Yuji Naka. He actually went on record saying today that he wishes that he could change that deal if he could, with Sega and McDonald's back then. So, the team had decided to split Sonic 3 into two parts. The first one being released by the scheduled February 2nd, 1994 release, being appropriately titled Sonic the Hedgehog 3. That's right, just by itself. It's only the first half of the game though, and consumers did not 100% know that at first. It's only 6 of the 14 zones, or 12 zones. I'm not sure how many zones are Sonic 3 Knuckles at the top of my head, but it's only 6 of zones from the whole game, which is about half to 40% to 50% of the whole game. With Sonic 2 being 14 zones long or so, just imagine the disappointment that people must have felt after playing through just 6 zones on this cart. However, it did have a few saving graces to more than make up for it. Neat visuals, a deeper story than the last 2 entries, a new, cool, and unique looking character, and of course, a brand new save feature. Not only that, the stages were massive and huge in scope. That also helped really, make up for what was going on. For it only being 6 zones long, it really helped the game feel like a massive adventure still, or like a big game still is what I mean to say. See, all of the other previous Sonic games on the Mega Drive, or aka Sega Genesis, lacked a save feature. There was no save file, or nothing for Sonic 1 and 2, which I went over this in my Sonic 1 and 2 reviews way back when. If you wanted to beat the game, you sort of had to do it in one go. Yes, those games thankfully do have a level select system at least, but it does not 100% count as actual progression. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just turn off the game, turn it on, do level select code, and play the game again. You'll still lose everything. The Chaos Emeralds you collected, the rings you got, the lives you got, it's all gone still. Once you have turned off the console, you lost what you've gained, and would have to start all over again. Sonic CD, on the other hand, is basically the first game in the franchise with a dedicated save feature, and you could have multiple save files too since it was being saved to the console's internal memory. However, you could not go back and play previous levels or gain lost emeralds once you finish the game with a single file. You could basically only start in the final area of the game, which isn't a lot of fun. And it was exclusive just to the Sega CD. There was no Genesis version of this game, and that didn't help consumers out there who didn't pick up a Sega CD. But with Sonic 3, you can do those things. That's right, you can save your progress and you can go back and play older levels. Once you've beaten the game, you can go back and play whichever level you'd want to, along with gain the Chaos Emeralds however you like to. So if you play through the game without getting the Chaos Emeralds, you can go back and recollect them. That's pretty neat, and it'll save your progress once you get one. You don't have to beat the act or anything, it just saves it once you get it. This game also has my favorite track in the whole series. Believe it or not, truth be told, it is the Sonic 3 credits theme song. Yeah, I know that's not everyone's favorite, but so what? I've always loved this song, and it has always given me a sense of a grand finale whenever I hear it. Maybe that's why I love it so much, and partially the point of the song. It's the grand finale theme to the grand finale Sonic game on his debuted console. I don't know, man, there's just something about Sonic 3 credits that I really enjoy. It sounds very heroic, sounds very uplifting, it just gives me the sense of, yeah, like, you know, we did it. And I just really like the song. It's just got a very nice feel for me. I also love Untitled Zone. That's probably one of my other favorite songs in the whole series. In fact, the soundtrack overall is fantastic, but I don't think I'd call it my favorite soundtrack in the whole series. But I love the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 soundtrack. That's probably my favorite one. The same thing with this one and Sonic CDs. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I love Sonic 3 Knuckles, the soundtrack overall. And yes, we all know, famously or infamously, whether, you know, depending on how you may want to view it, that Michael Jackson did potentially work on the soundtrack alongside John Snow. When, believe it or not, this is his debut for Sonic music. Long-running musician John Snow, who's worked on most Sonic the Hedgehog soundtracks. So that's pretty cool. This is his first game, and he worked alongside Michael Jackson. That's pretty crazy, right? So yeah, amazing in my opinion. As for the second half of the game, it was titled as Sonic and Knuckles, releasing on the later half of the year, October 18th, 1994. The game itself was literally just the second half of the adventure, but as the name implies, you can only play as Sonic and Knuckles, no Tails this time. In fact, when you boot the game up, the first stage you see is Mushroom Hill Zone and everything, and then you go move on to Flying Battery and Sandopolis, and then you get to Lava Reef and Hidden Palace. This is all the second half of Sonic 3. The game by itself is pretty fun, but it does feel like a lot is missing still. You see, this game is a lot more than just a single Sega Genesis cartridge. It contained a brand new, cool, and unique feature, the lock-on technology. See, this was a really new and unique concept at the time for the Genesis Sonic games. I know that I'm not the first to say this, but this was basically physically paid DLC for back in the day. I guess it would be called PLC, PCC, Physical Loaded Content. You get the idea, you know what I'm trying to say. Unfortunately, Sonic & Knuckles was really the only Sega Genesis game to ever utilize this sort of technology. No other game on this console, or in any other long-running Sega Genesis series, has lock-on technology integrated into the card itself. But yeah, you take your Sonic 2, put it on top of Sonic & Knuckles, and BAM! Now you're playing Knuckles in Sonic 2! That's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, look at that. Look at him go. Knuckles is going on in Sonic 2. It's not that bad. I haven't played the whole game before, but it looks like it might be a bit of fun just to mess around with the game playing as Knuckles. You take your Sonic 1, you put it on top of Sonic and Knuckles, and BAM! Oh, well, you get that. It may not be Knuckles and Sonic 1, but it sure is something, right? So this, ladies and gentlemen, is another unlockable game available to the Sega Genesis known as Blue Sphere, Red Sphere game collection. It basically contains a huge amount of stages built off the special stages from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Yes, this is literally the whole game. You just run around and collect blue spheres, avoid the red ones, and get rings along the way. Apparently this game has over like 14 billion or million stages. That is insane. I don't think anyone out there can humanly possibly play all of these. That's crazy that this is even a concept, but I believe the reason why this exists is because Sega couldn't figure out, or Sonic Team and Sega both couldn't figure out how to put Knuckles in Sonic 1. For some reason, they just couldn't do it. His character model wouldn't work with the game. Christian Whitehead figured it out years later, but during this time, they couldn't hack it. They couldn't figure out how to put Knuckles in Sonic 1. And that's why we have this strange, unique case of a Sega Genesis game. Also, this same game can be played by putting any Sega Genesis game on top of Sonic & Knuckles, not just Sonic 1. So if you want to put Aladdin on top of the cartridge, or if you want to put like Beyond Oasis on top of the cartridge, or if you want to put, I don't know, Road Rash 2. Whatever will fit on top of Sonic and Knuckles. If you put it on top of the game, you're going to get Red Sphere, Blue Sphere. It's pretty crazy. Any Sega Genesis game, except for, of course, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. When you put Sonic 3 on top of Sonic and Knuckles, you get the whole adventure right here, baby. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, one of my favorite games of all time, and of course, my favorite Sonic Hedgehog game ever. Hands down, right next to Sonic Mania. My top 2 favorites is my number 1. But, believe it or not, the original version of this game is not my favorite version at all. That honor would actually have to go to Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Complete. If you want to check out Sonic 3 Complete, you can do so in a few different ways. It's downloadable online to be played off of a Sega Genesis / Mega Drive emulator. I personally would recommend checking out Cake of Fusion or something like that if you want to go that route. Or you could play it officially off of the Steam version of Sonic 3 Knuckles by overlaying the game as a mod. Or even, you could try doing my favorite method. Try to hunt down a physical copy of the game. Believe it or not, they actually do pop up every now and then, both on eBay and Etsy. If you'd really want to try going the extra mile here for a physical copy, you could always try asking someone online to make you one. People out there do that. They do make like reproductions of older video games as cartridges. You could always put the games' ROM on a hat Sega Genesis Mini if you'd like to as well, or even on a Genesis EverDrive. I know that's a lot of like random options I'm giving you, but I'm just letting you guys know. Open your horizons, but if you possibly can, to check out Sonic 3 Complete, because it is really, really good. And I'm going to get into why that is. The reason as to why this is my favorite version of Sonic 3 is because of all the little features and additions it has to it. I mean, look at the menu here. You can customize with so much. Some of them make a big improvement to the game, others are just nice to have for flow and cosmetics. If you want to learn and know more about Sonic 3 Complete, I'd recommend checking out / watching Cybershell's video on the game. He goes pretty in depth into it, and the link will be in the video description below. However, it is not 100% for the faint of heart. So if cursing at all bothers you, then I do not recommend you to watch his video. In fact, I wouldn't recommend you watching any of Cybershell's videos, but he is one of my favorite YouTube content creators. He's really, really funny at the end of the day. With that all being said, it is still probably the best video about Sonic 3 Complete out there that I can think of. So it is honestly up to you what you want to do. As for Sonic 3 A.I.R, also known as Angel Island Revisited, it is really cool and good and all, but not as good as Sonic 3 Complete. That is, to me personally, I don't think so. Now let me explain. My experience with Sonic 3 A.I.R wasn't quite as the same it was for Sonic 3 Complete. I know some fans out there consider this to be the best version of all three of them. That's okay, because it is really, really, really good. But a few things to note. I personally couldn't figure out how to customize the game the same way I could for Sonic 3 Complete, and I only played the game once through with Sonic and Tails so far, so keep that in mind. Sonic 3 A.I.R more so acts like the definitive widescreen version for Sonic 3. It's really supposed to be the what if Christian Whitehead got to make Sonic 3 and Knuckles game, which means, unfortunately, factually, no, Christian Whitehead did not get to remake Sonic 3 like he did for Sonic 1, 2, and Sonic CD. However, that does not mean that he did not want to. He couldn't, due to legal problems surrounding the game's soundtracks and whatnot. Thankfully, those issues have been resolved nowadays, which is why we are getting another release of the game with Sonic Origins. And it will also be in widescreen. Thank goodness for that. That could debatably be the best version of Sonic 3 though, we'll see. I'm really hoping Christian Whitehead has a hand in the Sonic Origins collection, or Evening Star does, we really don't know yet. Anyways, Sonic 3 A.I.R is not a bad version of the game, so don't get me wrong on this, okay guys? It's not what I prefer, but it's not a bad version. It's still a lot better than the original Sonic 3 Knuckles, but does not contain all the little nice touches that Sonic 3 Complete had. It does, however, have neat unlockables and achievements added to it. It also does contain mod support, but I personally could not figure out how it fully works for the life of me. I tried to figure out with Sonic 3 A.I.R, but I just couldn't do it. There was a Sonic 3 A.I.R mod manager program, but it has been logged since lost on the internet, so I don't know. I can't get it figured out. I tried to put them in the game itself, there's a way to do it, but the game wouldn't utilize the mod still. Which if I can, I'll show footage here to show you what I'm talking about. Not too sure on how to figure this one out, Chief. Anyways, Sonic 3 A.I.R was great, so if you still want to check it out, go ahead. No matter which version of Sonic 3 Knuckles you play, it's going to be a fantastic experience, including the Sonic Jam version on Saturn and Sonic's Classic Collection on DS. The Xbox 360 version is great. Any version of Sonic 3 Knuckles is a lot of fun, in my opinion. It's just a fantastic game. So again, I want to reiterate this. My preferred favorite version of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is Sonic 3 Complete to this day. I have yet to experience Sonic 3 A.I.R to its fullest potential. I heard it's the best version of all three of them. Excuse me. But from my experience so far, that crown still belongs to Sonic 3 Complete. So, again, if you want to check out Sonic 3 Knuckles in general, whatever version it is, you're going to be great. Just make sure you play both Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Sonic and Knuckles together. Not separately, together. It feels half-assed if you play them separately. It's not as fun it's not as fun and wholesome and complete. No pun intended, in my opinion. Alright, so guys, that was a lot to cover about Sonic 3 so far. Whoo boy, I told you guys, this game is huge, and we haven't even covered the story or gameplay yet. Well, let's fix that. Let's move on to the story of the game. Okay, so, Sonic 3 takes place basically right after Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Dr. Robotnik's ginormous space station, known as the Death Egg, has now crashed in space into a new mysterious location, the Floating Island, also known as Angel Island, hence the name why Sonic 3 A.I.R is called that. And, as its name suggests, it is literally a giant island floating in the sky. Why is that so? Well, come to find out, it has something to do with an artifact that actually controls the Chaos Emeralds. It's a huge green emerald with unlimited power, known as the Master Emerald. I think any Sonic fan out there should be instantly recognizable with this beautiful iconic in the Sonic games. The Master Emerald has not been forgotten, let me tell you that right now. Even though Sega likes to treat it like it has been, it really hasn't been. And on this mysterious island with the mysterious artifact lives a mysterious guardian. Enter Knuckles the Echidna. He is the last of his kind, and he came from a history of warrior echidnas long before his time. He is the sole protector of the Master Emerald and the island itself. However, the island is not currently floating. It has crash landed into the ocean thanks to the weight of the Death Egg itself. There is nothing that the Master Emerald can do to help that situation. So yes, the Death Egg has crashed into the floating island, which is how Eggman got to meet Knuckles. When Dr. Eggman comes to on the island, he got to Knuckles first and lied to him about how Sonic was the one trying to mess with his island home. Little did our red boy know that Eggman was the one who was actually after the Chaos Emerald's powers to use them for his evil plans. And of course, his sights were set on the Master Emerald now, which he does end up stealing. Once again, it is up to Sonic and Tails to stop Eggman from relaunching the Death Egg, obtaining all of the Chaos Emerald's powers and taking over everything with an iron grip. For those of you who may not know already, this is Knuckles' introduction to the series. He has been a long-running Sonic character ever since this game, and he's really one of the first with a sophisticatedly written backstory like this in the game's series. Sonic, Tails, and Robotnik just sort of showed up, and we know that one side fights for good and one for evil, but that's about it. Heck, even Amy and Male Sonic didn't have this deep of a backstory in Sonic's CD. In fact, they didn't really even have a backstory at all. Amy is just some new girl character who has a crush on Sonic, and Male Sonic is Robotnik's newest invention to defeat Sonic. That's really about it. Little Planet itself has a more interesting story behind it than Amy and Male Sonic do. This is the first time, in the games at least, that we have a character that we learn a little bit about before he decides to join forces with Sonic. And this sort of trend would continue also, almost in each sequel title in the game after this. In fact, Knuckles is so important to his first appeared game that when you get to play as him, his campaign's narrative takes place after Sonic and Tails', not alongside. That's right, the title Sonic 3 and Knuckles is more than just an add-on to the end of the game. It's not just called Sonic 3 and Knuckles as a pun, the end Knuckles part is actually important. It's an emphasis on more gameplay. I mean, yes, obviously Knuckles is playable now, but his story is its own thing. For a while, Sonic teams seemed to be trying to convince people that Knuckles' campaign actually happened during Sonic and Tails'. But come on, if you've actually played through his campaign to the end, all the way through, from left to right, A to B, beginning, middle, end, you can tell that is clearly not the way that it is. That's not the case at all. See, during the main campaign of the game, the Sonic and Tails one, there is a point in the story where Knuckles and Sonic actually face off to fight. It's near the end of the game and takes place during my favorite segment in the whole game, the Lava Reef / Hidden Palace Zone section. Here, by visuals alone, we see and learn a lot about how much damage Dr. Robotnik is really causing on the island, and we also get to learn quite a bit about the emeralds. When we finally get to face off against Knuckles, we see this mural up on the wall, which I'm sure quite a bit of you out there may already recognize. It symbolizes a prophecy that seems to clearly indicate that a being with a true heart will overpower an evildoer who is trying to take control of the Master Emerald. Now, this is also where Knuckles discovers the truth and sees Dr. Robotnik's true color. After the battle of Knuckles and Sonic, Knuckles quickly sees Dr. Eggman trying to abduct the Master Emerald from its altar. After the scuffle, Knuckles decides to help Tails and Sonic out. And in return, Sonic and Tails continue to do the right thing by stopping Dr. Robotnik from taking over the Master Emerald and from him also using it to power up the Death Egg. And they also decide to return to Knuckles once all this is settled. Off in the distance from Sky Sanctuary, we can see that the Death Egg once again relaunches. And so, with an exhausted Knuckles staying behind after he got electrocuted, Tails and Sonic are off to the enormous space station to have what may seem like their final battle with Dr. Robotnik. So after all of that was finished with Sonic and Tails, they go on their merry way. Next, we come to find out that one of Robotnik's machines decides to try and hunt down Knuckles and steal the Master Emerald for himself. The Egg Robo, a final Egg Robo. They're actually the Banics to the Sky Sanctuary level, but there's just one left that survived or something that's after Knuckles and the Master Emerald, and he's got some kind of vendetta, or he's hell-bent on taking over the island for some reason. Maybe he still plans to serve his master, or it's something he wants to do on his own. Not too sure on that, but we don't know. And during all of Knuckles' campaign, he never once runs into Sonic and Tails. He does run into Robotnik, I think at least once. I think it's during the Flying Battery Act 2 boss fight, but that could have just been a sprite glitch for all we know. I'm not sure if he was supposed to be in that battle or not. When we go back and see Tails and Sonic's story, we do see Knuckles on multiple occasions where he tries to stop Sonic and Tails from getting farther. Granted, his plans actually end up having the opposite effect of what he had intended, but you get my point. Near the end of Sonic and Tails' campaign, after they have befriended Knuckles, they go to the Sky Sanctuary and encounter another robot duplicate of Sonic once again. Enter Mecha Sonic. Just look at this dude. He is a taller, slimmer, and somewhat sleeker version of Silver Sonic from the last game. He is so badass looking, and he's probably got my favorite Robot Sonic design in the whole series. I mean, I love Metal Sonic as much as the next guy, don't get me wrong. He's a great character. But I have never seen him go super before, at least not in the games I haven't. Yes, that's right. Using the power of the Master Emerald, Mecha Sonic is able to actually transform into its very own super form. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. That does not happen until the end of Knuckles' story, aka the end of the whole story. Canonically speaking, the first time we technically see this guy is not until we get to near the end of Sonic and Tails' story, where we face him off 3 times on, once again, the Sky Sanctuary Zone. Shortly after that, Sonic and Tails go after Robotnik on the Death Egg, and Sonic retrieves the Master Emerald after the Bad Doctor tries to escape with it in space. Peace is restored once again, and Sonic and Tails decide to bid Knuckles adieu for now, moving on to their next adventure. However, as I've mentioned before, it is not over for Knuckles. Whilst he rests one fine morning with animals dancing around him, a bomb falls to the sky, causing havoc on the island. Long and behold, it's a surviving Egg Robo, the same one that I mentioned earlier. Using the Chaos Emerald's power, Knuckles decides to go after the Egg Robo before it gets to the Master Emerald, causing damage on the island once again. He actually decides to go and find the Chaos Emeralds on his own, as special stages reappear on the island. At the end of his journey at the Sky Sanctuary Zone, once again, as we've seen earlier, the Egg Robo decides to take Knuckles to a surprisingly undefeated Mecha Sonic. And he has the Master Emerald. And yes, as you have seen from earlier with the footage, this is how he obtains the power to go super. This is what happens. Thankfully, Knuckles does end up defeating him, and before the island crash lands into the ocean once more, Sonic helps retrieve the Master Emerald back to his home. I guess Sonic just had to sense something was going down, so he had to go back. He quickly got in the tornado and helped Knuckles out at the last moment. You don't ever see that, I'm just kind of assuming that's how it went down, or at least I have a feeling. Alright, so, there are some other things that I really want/need to talk about, to go over how and why Knuckles' story does indeed, in fact, not by opinion, take place after Sonic and Tails'. Not during it, folks. I don't care what anybody says about this, because there's solid evidence in his campaign that this is true. First of all, the backgrounds and the stages. Throughout Sonic and Tails' campaign, you can tell the island has been indeed grounded to the ocean by looking at some of the stages' backgrounds. I mean, look at Angel Island Zone, you can tell it right there. And for Knuckles' right there, you can tell it's in the sky. And, once again, Knuckles never once runs into Sonic or Tails during the entire time that you play as him. He would have if their stories were in sync, which they aren't, right? Makes sense. Knuckles doesn't even fight Sonic at the Hidden Palace Zone. He just goes straight to Sky Sanctuary. In fact, I think his Hidden Palace level is only like 5 seconds long. It's very short. Plus, the Death Egg is nowhere to be seen, and neither is Robotnik. Coincidence? I don't think so. I mean, look at Launch Base Zone. That is literally the level where Robotnik had to launch his Death Egg. It's in the name. Well, where is it? Do you see anywhere Knuckles' story? No? Interesting. Yeah, at the same time, my ass. I don't think so. So yeah, I rest my case. I'm not sure if this was Takashi Iizuka himself or not who has made this claim, but I still rest my case. Speaking of that man, this is actually the very first Sonic game that he has ever worked on, and what a great first impression it has left on him. And as I mentioned before, this is long-running Sonic series' musician/vocalist Jun Sanao's very first Sonic game where he worked on the soundtrack. Yeah, I know! Pretty cool, huh? Not only that, this is the only Sonic game that contains a very legendary form/look for both Sonic and Knuckles. Oh yes, people. Don't think for a second that I would forget about this wonderful transformation. All of you out there watching, you should have seen this coming if you haven't already. I bet you've been waiting for it. You can't do a Sonic 3 Knuckles review right without ever mentioning it. Now, as hopefully all of you out there watching this already knows, in the last Sonic game, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, we got introduced to Sonic's stable yellow golden powered up Super Saiyan-like transformation form, Super Sonic! Wow, that was a very long description. He's pretty sweet, right? Well, believe it or not, there is a level even greater beyond than Super Sonic right here in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. See, on the Master Emerald altar, each of the 7 Chaos Emeralds have a spot to be placed on it. Well, while playing as Sonic and Tails, once they first enter Mushroom Hill Zone, the halfway point of the game, we see Knuckles acting a bit suspicious down below from a platform, as if he's hiding something. He hits a switch and down comes a wall from where he just was, like a doorway, as you can tell right here in front of you. Well, if you go ahead and hit that switch, the wall goes up, and once you go into the burrow he was just in, long and behold, you see a giant flashing special stage ring. Oh, that's right, there's something I almost forgot to completely mention. See, in Sonic 1, CD, and Sonic 2, you'd have to first collect 50 rings in order to gain access into entering a special stage. Whether they are at the end of an act with a giant golden ring floating there for you to jump into to teleport, or you just pass the star post and jump into the stars floating around it. Well, not anymore, that's not the case. They're all about exploration now and finding them. 50 golden rings are no longer required. You just find one, jump into it, and pow! You're there at the blue sphere/red sphere special stages. These used to be my favorite Sonic game special stages until Sonic Mania came out. Collect all the blue spheres, you get the Chaos Emerald. But you still need 50 rings to transform it into Super Sonic, which that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I prefer it that way actually. I would prefer because like that way you still have a good time before you can collect more rings. So as I mentioned before, these special stages are still probably my most favorite in the series, right next to Sonic Mania's. They're just so much fun and nostalgic to me, and I got really good at all 14 of them over the years, that I'm practically a master of these now. That's right, I said 14. 14 special stages, not just 7. Why are the 14 this time instead of just 7? Are there 7 extra emeralds to collect? Oh yes, sort of. That giant flashing ring that I mentioned, once you jump into it for the first time, this wonderful little moment happens in the game. Yes, what has just happened is that Sonic and Tails had to give up their Chaos Emeralds to the altar in order to make them stronger. At first, they're all gray and devoid of color, as in, they're powerless. However, as you can see, they're also a lot bigger now, each one being the same size as a Master Emerald. And you can jump on them and enter 7 brand new special stages. Why is that? What's going on here? Well, after you finish each one, this happens. A Super Emerald, huh? What the heck is a Super Emerald? It's exactly what it sounds like and how it may look. A powered up version of a Chaos Emerald. And once you get all 7 of them, something really magnificent happens. Look at this, guys. Hypersonic? Who the heck is Hypersonic? Oh! Oh my god. Holy shit! Holy shit! That's right, you guys. He is unstoppable, invincible, invulnerable, the embodiment of unlimited energy and power themselves in Hedgehog form. He is a god in Hedgehog form. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you both Hypersonic and Hyper Knuckles. Oh yeah, there's also Super Tails. He's pretty cool too. No, but seriously though, he is. His golden flickies there, they will wreck everything up, man, around them. Seriously, I swear to God, he's pretty great. They are pretty awesome. Oh my god, where to even begin with the hyper forms? Well, first of all, in Sally, this is the only game that they ever make their official appearance in. Yeah, I know, it's a real bummer. But, in a way though, it does help them feel all the more a bit special, along with this game. I mean, this is their only appearance, and they're pretty legendary here too. I still hope to see them again though, and the final boss just isn't quite the same to me without Hypersonic. Speaking of, that would be the Doomsday Zone. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Doomsday Zone. This might be my favorite final boss fight in a Sonic game of all time. Next to Perfect Dark Gaia, and the Final Hazard, and Metal Madness, and maybe even Star Wars. But still, this fight is fantastic. Okay, this is the fight that began all of those fights. So I do love the 3D final boss Sonic fights. They're awesome, like with the giant monsters, most of them. But this is pretty freaking epic. You're chasing down Dr. Robotnik in the final chase, trying to obtain back the Master Emerald from him. As you move forward, there are 2 phases. In the first one, he can knock you back with those little projectiles and homing missiles. You've got to fly around Eggman's machine and aim the heat-seeking missile towards his face and inflict some damage. After that comes the second phase of the fight. The second part isn't so bad, but you've really got to collect rings here and watch out for asteroids. They knock you back, delaying your chase, and as you can tell by the up left-hand corner of the screen there, your ring energy is going down. Eventually, after hitting him a few times, Eggman's giant egg robo machine explodes, and Sonic retrieves the Master Emerald safely. After doing so, he gives it back to Knuckles, and as I have mentioned before in this review, peace is once again restored to the island. Wow, oh jeez, fucking epic, man. If you aren't able to finish the game with either the Chaos Emeralds or Super Emeralds, then this giant guy right here will be your final boss after clearing through the Death Egg Zone. Holy smokes! He's pretty intimidating, isn't he? I like to call this machine the Malicious Fingers Robot, named appropriately after a really great remix of the final boss song. His first phase isn't so bad. You just have to spin dash to destroy his giant fingers that can squash you. After doing so, it seems as if you defeated him, but then he decides to chase after Sonic and Tails while destroying the landing in front of him. His nose shoots out fire, and you have to make contact with it in order for his torso to open up, exposing its main energy source, the Master Emerald! You have to hit it, I think 8 times, but it also shoots out a deadly energy beam. I swear, this boss is probably the hardest boss in the whole game, next to Super Mega Sonic, honestly. Once he is defeated, Eggman tries to make a getaway with the Master Emerald, but Sonic and Tails won't let him. You just have to hit him enough times and then BAM! We are once again back to the Doomsday Zone. But I already covered that, so let's move on to how the game controls and feels. So that means that even though if you do get all the Chaos Emeralds and Super Emeralds, you still have to fight this guy. And if you couldn't tell before, at first you get your rings. You do get your rings when you first get to this final boss, but if you die, you do lose them. And that's it, no more rings. So in true Sonic final boss fashion, you still gotta fight this guy with no rings if you die. So, yeah. Honestly, I feel as if Sonic 3 Knuckles has the best controlling of all 2D Sonic. Right next to the Sonic Advance games, Mania, and even somewhat Sonic CD. Yeah, Sonic 2 and those other games feel great too, don't get me wrong, but there's just something perfect about Sonic 3 Knuckles. The way it just controls, the way it just feels, that's just there with its speed and platforming. I'm pretty sure that the magnificent level design that the game has something to do with it as well, but I don't know, it just feels perfect to play. The characters all have a certain weight to them too. Sonic is well balanced and feels pretty natural to play as. Tails is slightly more light and hovery when he jumps. And Knuckles is a bit more gruff, and he jumps a little lower than Sonic and Tails do too. However, he also has alternative paths and stages, some that he accesses himself with his strength. The only other Sonic game that comes close to a clone of this one is Sonic Mania. Mania is fan-freaking-tastic and pretty perfect next to Sonic 3, but there's just something about Sonic 3 I like a bit more. Its atmosphere is so apparent and majestic and captivating, and its story is so damn epic compared to other classic era games. This game really was a true bang to come out of the finale of the Sonic Genesis era trilogy. It's still somewhat truly one of a kind, and is yet to be topped by gameplay and story mixed together. Okay, well, Sonic Unleashed is pretty fantastic and big too, but that's a whole different animal for a different video. That one may just be my new favorite 3D Sonic game of all time, but I don't know yet. I still have a big love soft spot for Sonic Generations. That's my favorite 3D Sonic game. And if it wasn't for how fantastic of a game Sonic 3 was, who knows what kind of game Sonic Unleashed would be. I'm not trying to say that this game directly inspired Sonic Unleashed or had any part of its influence whatsoever. But, keep in perspective, that Unleashed was originally going to be Sonic Adventure 3. And given how it's a massive game already, much like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 here is, I mean, come on, Sonic Unleashed is at least a Sonic Adventure 2.5 in that perspective. So you have to give it that. Like, you can't say it's not. Like, that's not fair. You know, like, for the fact that Unleashed was going to be Adventure 3, let's compare it to Sonic 3, right? Like, that's a huge deal, guys. That is a huge deal when you think about it. Anyways, aside from all that, Sonic 3 Knuckles on its own is still really fantastic. For the time it was out, it is still one of the most perfect video games ever created. It still holds up to the test of time and is without a doubt a timeless video game. It's massive, an adventuring story. It has a lot of soul put into its atmosphere. It has level design, control, and speed all perfectly blended together, something the Sonic team has been trying to master since Sonic 1. And they did it! Right here in this game! It deserves to be ranked as one of the best gaming platformers of all time, right up there with titles like Super Mario Bros. 3, Donkey Kong Country, Crash Bandicoot 3 and 2, Banjo-Kazooie/Tooie. Yes, I did just say that. Super Mario World, Super Mario Odyssey, Jak and Daxter, and the list goes on and on and on. The platformers are just golden, and this is definitely one of them. I'm not saying that Sonic 3 is better than those games, but it's definitely at the same level. It needs to be in the same spotlight as them in the general public view if it isn't already. Again, it is considered to be the best video game in a highly iconic gaming series by a lot of fans who have played it all the way through. And let's not forget the levels. I mean, the stages are fantastic. You have Angel Island Zone, Hydro City Zone, Marble Garden Zone, Carnival Night Zone. Ice Cap Zone, what a beautiful freaking level, and it's a gorgeous soundtrack. Oh my god. Launch Break Zone with its badass bopping music. Love it. Mushroom Hill Zone with its really weird and wonderful like prelude feel it has to it, you know, because it feels like you're playing a first level again. Flying Barrier Zone with its fucking awesome badass atmosphere, and it's just its concept, one of a lot of people's favorite stages of all time. Sinopolis Zone, not the best, but still a pretty great level. I mean, at least has an Egyptian feel. But it's still a great level in general. And then you got my favorite Sonic stage of all time. That's right, of all time, people. Lava Reef Zone. I love Lava Reef Zone. I don't know why, but I love it. I'm gonna get more into that later. And then you got Hidden Palace Zone, Sky Sanctuary Zone, Death Egg Zone, an actual Death Egg Zone in a Sonic game, an actual freaking Death Egg Zone. It's the finale, level 2. It just feels so damn right. You finally made it here. Eggman's home base at the end of this epic trilogy. Oh my god, it just fits so well. You cannot get enough of this game. I cannot get enough of this game. Sonic 3 Knuckles is fan-fucking-tastic, and no one out there can fight me on that. Like, that is just a fact. This game is a wonderful, beautiful game. Like, hands down. Hands damn down. It is so good. If you have by any chance played Sonic Mania, fallen in love with it, and finished it all the way through, then you owe it to yourself to check out Sonic the Hedgehog 3 if you have not already. Please, please, please do so. I can promise and guarantee you that you will not be disappointed. Whew. Okay, everyone, that's a wrap. Thank you guys so much if you've made it to the end of my video. I really do hope that you guys liked what I had to say about Sonic 3 and that you'd really enjoy my content. If you guys love this game as much as I do, then more power to you, and thank you. I really appreciate that. Keep on keeping on and enjoying some good old Sonic 3 wherever you like to. And yes, I know that I keep calling it Sonic 3 and not exactly Sonic 3 Knuckles, but I obviously mean the whole game when I talk about Sonic 3. I think we all do. I think we all do. I don't think that's just a one fan thing. No, I know it's like every person who talks about Sonic 3 means the whole game, not just a few people. So yeah, again, if you haven't already, please check out Sonic Hedgehog 3. I am so happy that's getting released for Sonic Origins. I'm so happy that it is. There's no excuse at that point. If you buy that game, pick it up, you gotta play Sonic 3. You're missing out if you haven't already. I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you that right now. But I really would prefer it if you guys check out Sonic 3 Complete. Yes, physical copies do exist to all of you Mega Drive / Genesis owners out there. I even made a video of unboxing a physical copy of it, and in this video I showed it to you guys. It's there, it's real. Sorry that I didn't get around to mentioning every little thing about Sonic 3 that there is to talk about, like the double jump abilities, or all the special stages, or like, you know, the double jump abilities, the different like shields, the elemental shields. Okay, fine, really quick, there's a flame shield, a bubble shield, and electric shield being the best. It got carried on to 3 Sonic and everything. But hey, moving on from that, some things should just be discovered for a first-time player for themselves, right? And this review is long enough as it is. Let me tell you that right now. It's probably an hour long now. It's probably my longest review on a Sonic game so far. I will add this really quick though, as I mentioned earlier, about Lava Reef Zone. Lava Reef Zone and Hidden Palace Zone are my favorite Sonic stages of all time, and I don't know why. I'm not too sure as to why. I just really love their atmosphere, their music, the level design, the build-up they have as you play through the acts. Like when you go from Lava Reef to Sky Sanctuary, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful transition. It's just so majestic. I love it. So yeah, that's about it, guys. And remember, as Sonic the Hedgehog has once said, don't just sit there and waste your precious time. When you want to do something, do it right away. Do it when you can. It's the only way to live a life without regrets. So if you have the chance to play Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, do it. See you guys later. Bye-bye now. Have a good one. Peace the fuck out. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching my review and everything, like I said before. But hey, that was a lot of fun and everything, but time for something, a bonus bit at the end. I bet you anything what everyone's wondering, what is on their minds here. So, what would happen if you put Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Complete on top of Sonic and Knuckles? Let's find out, folks. You probably just get Rest Booster. Honestly, I have not done this yet. Now, let me know one thing. When I put Beyond Oasis on here, what actually happened is that I just got Sonic and Knuckles working by itself. So, and then I was like, uh-oh. And then when I put Beyond Oasis in by itself, my file was okay. Excuse me, my game's fine. So I'm sure this is safe. I never heard anyone out there saying that Sonic and Knuckles will, like, corrupt, like, games with like, a battery backup. So this is just for fun. So let's see what happens when you've got Sonic the Hedgehog 3 complete and Sonic and Knuckles. Here we go. Oh, just as I would have expected. You get Sonic and Knuckles by itself. Okay. That's good. I mean, honestly, I should have seen that coming, right, guys? What the heck? What? Wait, what? What? Wait, no, no, there's no way. What's going on here? Wait, what? What the heck? Hydro Zone? What? Yo, what? Yo, whoa, what? Yo, what? No, there's no way. What? Why, how is it doing that? It's the same look. How is it doing that? There's no way. That's crazy. What? That's kind of cool, actually. No way. This is Sonic the Complete? I don't believe that. No. What's really going on here? No, really, it's the cartridge. It's right there. Look, guys, see, right there. Right there. That's what happens when you put it on top of Sonic and Knuckles, I guess. Okay, well, guess it's everything to see. Might as well just turn the console off now. Yo, what?